changed the whole, you know, dimension of what was going on and demographic of everything, you know.
And would that something like that affect your art as well?
Oh, good God, yeah. I mean, well, my dad was the biggest inspiration. He was the guy that got me into doing this. He gave me my first camera at the age of 8, you know, and that's where it all came from, Dylan.
That was it. That was when you liked.
Oh yeah. That. I mean, my dad was a happy hobbyist. You know, and he taught me the kind of very, very basics of what we used to do together.
Yeah.
You know, and I dedicated my last book. I released a book, new book last year. I think it was last year, the year before. Sorry, forgive me, I lose track of time. Entitled Ice Cream and Sun Cream, which I dedicated to my dad because what it actually was, the subject matter was a fortnight's holiday in Norfolk. Because when I was growing up as a little boy, along with my brother, that was a big deal. And my dad documented as much of our life as growing up as a family as could be done. And a time when photography is extremely rare and very expensive to do. But the two big events of the year was Christmas and our fortnight's holiday, which we never ever missed.
Yeah.
And Dad would document that. Most of those that I remember vividly were in Norfolk. So when I moved there, I kind of looked at the idea of thinking, well, if I was to go on that holiday with my mum and dad and my brother, now at this age, how would I see it and what would I shoot? So what I did, the project was 2.5 years in the making, and then I shot all these images, documenting literally the setting off from home right the way through to the coming home, but with a very, very arty edge on the thing, literally how I saw it. And then I released the book, which you can go and buy and see on my shop, nickelliot.shop, and it's entitled Ice Cream and Sun Cream, and it's based around a fortnight's holiday in Norfolk as a small lad. And because essentially what I remember at the start of it was I was an 8-year-old boy, I shot it from the level of what an 8-year-old boy would see, as in height, you know.
Yeah.
So it was literally through the eyes of an 8-year-old lad at the age that I am now.
Do you remember what the subject matter was when you were 8? What was your first photograph, your first ever photograph that you took with this camera that was given to you by your dad?
My first photograph was on the Pleasure Beach, the amusements on the prom at Great Yarmouth.
Wow.
And the guy is still there. It's a big model of, I think, of a pirate. And he kind of straddles a ride that runs through his legs.
Right.
Yeah. No, but it's a great place. It's a wonderful place.
Yeah.
And I took a shot of that in the dark, thinking that it was going to melt my face when I got the image out, you know, devved up, but it never came out. Because I shot it with flash, as you would do as an 8-year-old lad in the dark, but it needed time exposures and all this kind of stuff, you know, and needed to get a lot more technical. So I do remember, because I was so disappointed, it was a load of rubbish.
Yeah. So do you think maybe that kind of pushed you onwards then? That first failure, you thought, right, I'm gonna tackle this, and the next one is gonna be, I'm gonna nail it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, like I say, the kind of art thing, the whole creative side of my life has been spent, you know, literally studying artwork, studying books, legendary photographers, you know, Bailey being the biggest influence on me from a photographer's point of view.
Yeah.
But yeah, people like Corbin and, you know, you know, Terence Donovan, them type of people, you know, massive influence on me. The 60s, that kind of period, the 70s, and of course then Owen Artwork, which took the whole thing to another level altogether.
Yeah.
Dark Side of the Moon, etc.
Oh yeah, totally. So when we talk about inspiration then, is there a certain time of day where you're inspired, where you come up with your ideas? Do you have to do something? Do you have a muse, as they say? Some creative people have a muse.
No, not really. I mean, do a lot of night stuff, that kind of thing, but I'm usually asleep when these concepts come.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'll go to places and I'll walk by and think, oh, Christ, what a great door. I'll use that door for something, or a wall, or whatever. You know, but no, not really. These things are, these are usually inspired by emotions or situations. You know, I'm going through a period at this time that I describe as my Ziggy period,
Right.
because it fits very much with Bowie's change, where he came out as Ziggy Stardust and then went into the David Bowie that we all really know.
Yeah.
But it was Ziggy that broke the guy, you know, and it was that kind of change of going into that place of where expression was on the highest part of his list, you know. And I'm very much in that kind of period. I'm moving. I've moved, you know, like literally standing on the glacier and it's moving along, that kind of thing.
Yeah, you find yourself adapting, I suppose,
Yeah,
in a way.
well that's it. I mean, because of the changes that have gone on emotionally in my life over the past 12 months, you know, it's moved the whole thing, Dylan, massively so. But, you know, I mean, for people like Phil Collins, it made one of the biggest selling albums of all time, No Jacket Required. You know, he went through the same kind of thing. And those kind of deep emotional problems or issues, they bring out something for an artist like me. It'll take you to another place altogether. It's a travel, it's a ticket to somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they do say that, don't they, with particularly with musicians, and I think it also applies in the art world, that sometimes you do have to go to that dark place to come back and create arguably the best work you've ever done.
I totally agree. Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, it is a strange thing, and also on the subject of inspiration and ideas, and you're spoiled for choice in Boston with the landscape and the architecture and everything else. Also, I was talking to somebody, I think it was this week, about how you take everything for granted, don't you? You walk around and sometimes
You do when you live somewhere.
yeah. You're used to it and you don't look up. And one day you might look up and you see something different. And it's the same in sometimes you need a photograph, you need that kind of medium to bring out something that's always been there.
Yeah, definitely.
But just seeing it in that context makes you appreciate it more.
Oh, totally. I mean, I've got to say, to go back to the Boston subject, I mean, I love the place. I haven't been here for a while, as you know, but I mean, I come over here mostly to kind of, you know, when invited onto the station, which I love. But Boston, I think, is a fantastic place. Yeah, architecturally, and I think there's a vibe here. There really is, of a place unchanged, and long may that live.
Absolutely, I'd agree with that.
And where we're sitting in your new studio, fantastic, wonderful place.
Well, it's just such a lovely view, and of course the iconic stump is practically wherever you go, you can see it in the
Do you know, I've never seen the stump.
Have you?
Only from a distance.
Really?
Yeah.
You need to go up.
Yeah.
I think it's £3. Has it gone up nowadays? I think it's £3.
Is it?
£3 to get to the top.
Wonderful.
Yeah, make sure you have a hearty breakfast and you don't die when you're halfway up.
Really?
Yeah.
All steps.
Oh yeah.
How many?
Blimey, there's a question. I think is it 360?
Is it really?
I need to look into it.
God, that'd be worth
Yeah,
it.
there's
That's a good
the
afternoon.
numbers fit with certain things. You know,
Okey-dokey.
number of months, number of
Yeah.
days in a year.
Yeah, good. Yeah, mad for it.
Yeah, he's got on Wikipedia. Far too many steps for my liking, but I'm sure everybody else would love that.
Yeah. I don't mind a bit of that.
Great view from the top though, because you can see on a clear day, you can see Lincoln Cathedral.
Can you really?
Yeah.
I spend quite a bit of time in there because I do a show over there. Other radio stations I know. But we won't bother with that.
Yeah, so that's it. You could maybe see the other radio station from the top of the stump.
You
Anyway,
can see the cathedral.
yeah, that's it. Right, we're going to get into the community guide very shortly then, and then